A lot of developers are usually confused between functions and coroutines. Their usage seems similar and it feels like they can be used interchangeably. Today, we look into the key differences between a function and a coroutine with a very basic example. Before we begin, some might ask, what are functions? Functions are one of the fundamental concepts of programming language. A function is a block of code that is meant to do a particular task, return a value, and then stop. Functions may not necessarily return a value. We denote these functions by writing void. We will soon see an example of a function. But first, let's see why functions are required. For this example, I've created a basic Unity project and a new C# script that will run our code. The test script is attached to the script object so that it gets executed during runtime. Let's open this script. For this example, let's suppose I want to multiply two numbers and add 7 and display the result. Let's see the regular way to do it. We would not be requiring the update method for this, so let's delete it and write our code in the start method. So now I've created two variables num1 and num2 and multiplied them and added 7 to them. And I'm logging the final answer on the console. Let's see its output. Okay, the program works and I get my output. But now, what if I need to do the same thing multiple times? One way is to just repeat the same code over and over. Let's try that. Now let's run and see it. Okay, it does work. Now, as you see, the code is not clean. If someone else looks at the code, they would not be able to tell that the answer 1, 2, 3, 4 are using the same formula to calculate the result. Also, if after a while I decide to change 7 to 8, I would have to go through each instance and change it. As you can see, it can even lead to errors. Now let's try using a function to solve this. Now you can look up the syntax of how to write a function. We first define the data type, then the name of the function. Let's name it myMultiply. And then we write what values it takes. So let's name these values a and b. Now let's calculate our value. And once it's done, we return the same value back. Now we can refactor our code and replace the calculation with the myMultiply function we just created everywhere. Now it's clear and we understand that the answer 1, 2, 3, 4 are using the same formula to calculate the result. Now let's try running it. Oops, looks like I refactored the wrong variables. Let me fix it. Okay, so as I'm accepting a and b variables, I should use them. Let's rename that quickly. So yeah, it works correctly and we get the same results as last time. So the basic components of a function is start execution, do work, return value, and then end execution. So here in our example, we start, we do work, we return, and then end. I hope you've understood functions properly, as it is required for you to understand what coroutines are and what are the differences between them. If you have any queries, do let me know in the comments. Now let's move on to coroutines. Now what is a coroutine? So as we saw, functions do a task and then return a value. Now they cannot return a value while doing the task. So now what if I want to delay the execution of my code? If I try delaying it in the main update thread, that would make our game slow and unresponsive. So I need a function that does some work, then continues on the normal thread, and then comes back and starts doing the work again. This is exactly what coroutines do. They are also a type of function, but they can return a value while doing the task. It might be confusing now, so let's take an example to understand. Let's assume we have a function that returns nothing but does work. For now, we'll just use log statements, doing heavy work 1 and doing heavy work 2. Now, in the start function, we start off an important work 1, then call our function, and then log important work 2. Now let's guess the output. As it's a normal function, the output would be important work 1, heavy work 1, heavy work 2, important work 2. Now you may see how using functions for work that takes some time to execute can impact the performance of the game. Now let's try using coroutines. The syntax of coroutines is very similar to function as it's just a type of function. So instead of void, we use IEnumerator. Now suppose I want to go back to the main thread after doing heavy work 1. I can do that using yield. Now yield is a keyword that tells the compiler where it left off and where to continue execution after it comes back. So in this case, we don't want to return anything, so we just return null. Now coroutines cannot be called as a normal function. We use a method called startCoroutine which takes the name of the coroutines to start. So now let's run and see the output. As you can see, we got important work 1, heavy work 1, important work 2, heavy work 2. So after executing the heavy work 1, the control went back to the start function and continued with its normal execution. Then in the next frame, the execution was continued from where the yield had left off and heavy work 2 was printed. Now if you want to add a delay to the code portion, you can return wait for seconds instead of null. It takes the number of seconds to wait as a parameter. Let's run this. Okay, as we are returning an object, we must use the new keyword. Let's try now. And as you can see, the heavy work 2 statement comes after roughly 2 seconds. So to sum it up, a coroutine can do work, return a value, and then keep continuing doing the work, while a function cannot do any work after it returns a value. So coroutines are a bit tricky to understand, but you'll learn more about them as you develop your own applications and games. If you have any more queries or would like to know more real-life examples where coroutines can be used, do leave a comment below. Hope you found this video helpful, and if you have any suggestions for us, do leave a comment and consider subscribing.